Good morning, nerds, and welcome to the third episode of a new series, Let's Play Something New. This series is built as a guide for both players who are wanting to venture into a system they're not familiar with, and for game masters who are looking for a guide to send to new players to the table. This guide is built to reduce the tabletop role-playing game system to its nuts and bolts, and after watching these guides associated with each system, you, as a player, should have a completed character and should have just enough knowledge to kind of jump into the game and feel comfortable at the table. So, like I said, this is the third episode in us exploring Salvage Union. Once again, we are exploring Salvage Union by Leyline Press, and we have been walking through some of the character creation before playing this gritty sci-fi mech fighter TTRPG game. Uh, did I mention that I'm not a sponsor or collaborating with anyone from Leyline Press? Anyways, let's hope by now that you've watched episode 1 and 2, and you have a pilot and a mech that need a place to rest when they aren't roughing it in the wastelands. That's where the Union Crawler comes in. So, step one. Do you need another easy set of steps? Because the union crawler gets divided into five instead of eight. But before we begin, I want to provide a little bit more of information on what the union crawler is, just kind of as a whole. Now, the union crawler is your home base on leg. When you aren't salvaging in the wasteland, performing dirty deeds for dirt cheap, or hunting post-apocalyptic monstrosities, you are chilling with your feet kicked up in a union crawler. In this world of Salvage Union, these crawlers are home to hundreds or thousands of people, creating civilizations that slowly walk across the barren world. And inside, you have communities, taverns, medics, and anything else that you might need. When you enter the Union Crawler, you enter into what is considered downtime. And during downtime, you can do things like repair your mech, train your pilot, eavesdrop on rumors at the bar, and trade with local travelers. And all. And what's fun about this is that all players actually help create the Union Crawler. So everyone at the table gets a part in designing the Union Crawler, and so you want to make sure that you're working collaboratively with every single person at the table to make sure that you're making something useful for everyone. And that goes for the beginning of the game as well as even mid game as well. So step one, choosing a crawler type. There's going to be five different types of union crawlers that you can make, each with their own little special ability. The augmented crawler is going to be pretty much home to the cyborg lot. Everyone on board has a modification of some kind, and each pilot who calls this place home gets one ability in the augment ability tree, which I think is pretty cool because it's not always available to everyone if they don't have that class. Not to mention, it comes with their own AI system, and it has its own little quirky personality. Um, a battle crawler is for a group who is picking a lot of fights and need a union crawler that is heavily armored in case the trouble follows them home. Most union crawlers can have one weapon in the armament bay, and we'll get into that, the armament bay, in just a second. But this type of crawler can actually have two weapons installed, so that comes in handy. The engineering crawler is maintained by a group of highly skilled engineers who have designed the crawler to work at peak efficiency, which reduces the upkeep cost dramatically. And we'll get into a little bit of upkeep in a second. You just gotta bear with me while I'm giving you all these brand new terms. The exploratory crawler is for people who want to see more than just the wide open desert. By swapping out legs for tracks, tunneling moths, hover systems, spider legs, you can reach all the hard to reach vacation destinations. And finally, the trade caravan allows you to get a leg up in the competition by having improved trading ability while on board. A lot of things that aren't typically available suddenly become available when you get that trade caravan crawler. And so each type of crawler also comes with its own tailored NPC, which I think is really cool and also can help your group out pretty significantly. So I'm taking a look at each of these. I really like the exploratory crawler, so I'm going to bring it over to the crawler character sheet here. That pretty much the whole team, the whole everyone in the party, everyone at the table can help facilitate this. I think the exploratory crawler sounds really cool because I love the idea of having a hovercraft union crawler, or or maybe even a zeppelin union crawler. If the game mediator lets it slide though. But who am I kidding? I'm the game mediator, so I'm making a freaking Zeppelin. Not to mention, I get a Wasteland Explorer on my board, um, on board my Union Crawler, and so every downtime I get to ask him two questions about the area around of a map. So I'm gonna type in my type section, the exploratory crawler. I'll add a little bit of stuff in my ability, the all-terrain locomotion, and then a short description of just kind of what that means. And everyone knows now that I'm planning on making a Zeppelin, so we'll see how that goes. Step two, note down your crawler statistics. Choosing the type of crawler was pretty much a lot of fun, but now we got to mark down all their statistics here. And so where this kind of comes into play is going to be the size of your crawler, and the size correlates directly with how many people are actually in the Union crawler. So first off, we're going to start with a Hamlet crawler. A Hamlet crawler has a population of 100 to 500 survivors. Once you pay enough upkeep, which is due every week, that meets your upgrade cost, you can upgrade your crawler to the next class. The next class from this would be the Village crawler. That holds 500 to 2,000 survivors, followed by a town crawler with 2,000 to 5,000, a city crawler, which has 5,000 to 15,000 survivors, and a metropolis crawler with 15,000 to 25,000, and anything above 25,000 becomes a mega city crawler. Oddly enough, I don't see a bar crawler anywhere here, which I thought. Oh, stupid joke. Okay. Next, we're gonna fill out our sheet here, which means we get to fill out a couple of pieces here. Our structure points for our crawler, being a Hamlet crawler, is 20. We have tech level 1. Our upkeep is 5 tech 1 scraps a week. And when we pay that 5 upkeep scraps a week, that goes towards our upgrade budget. And once the upgrade budget reaches 30, that is when we're going to be able to upgrade to the next one. Next one up. I believe I said it was the I don't remember what I said it was, but it's the next one up. You can check out the book. So since I'm starting with just a Hamlet crawler, this is going to be what my stats are looking like, which means we're step 3 now. Choose your weapon system. Every piece of machinery needs a way to defend itself, and the Union crawler is no different. And so the rules state that we can mount any Tech 1 weapon system into the armament bay. And I already know which one I'm planning on using because it's one I really wanted to add to my mech. I just didn't really feel like it fit too well. The mini mortar. So in the second half of the character sheet for the crawler, in the armament bay, I'm going to write in the mini mortar along with its weapons here. I figure that me and my buddies can handle the big baddies that come knocking. But one thing that I want to avoid around my crawler is swarms. And so what better way to handle this than a little bit of crowd control? Now, firing mortars from my Zeppelin might look a little more like dropping bombs, but I'm willing to make it work. And I'm sure it works in practice. That's a weapon here. Step 4, name the crawler's NPCs. Now, this step is heavy on knowledge, but it ultimately becomes as complicated as you really want to make it. Every bay will have an NPC that you can choose to communicate with and ask questions. These NPCs can be as detailed as you want with their own backstories, keepsakes, mottos, etc., or as bare bones as you like it. It's up to you and your team. So I'm going to go over kind of just high level knowledge of each different bay here. You can definitely check out the workshop manual for more information. But ultimately, the command bay is where the bridge crew that pilots the crawler stays. You can talk to these guys if you want to survey the land around you. They can make a little holographic map around you. But if this bay gets damaged, your Union crawler cannot move. The captain in this bay is called the Princeps, and you can name the Princeps to whoever you want. Next, the mech bay is where you're going to house your active mechs. Now, if you are so fortunate in the future to have multiple mechs, only one can hang out in the mech bay. That's your active mech. The rest will have to go to storage. But while your active mech is in the bay, it becomes repaired, except for certain circumstances you'll learn as you play. Ultimately, the Union crawler can only repair mechs, systems, and modules that are its tech class or lower. So since I'm a Tech 1, I can only fix Tech 1 chassis, systems, and modules. I kind of have to start paying in scraps if I want to start fixing higher things. Um, the head honcho here is going to be the greaser. So that's pretty fun. The next is the storage bay. Now, this sheet shows a finite number of slots, but the book actually mentions that the storage bay has unlimited slots and can hold as much as you need. So forget this paper. You kind of just get a spreadsheet. Take that and run with it, I guess. The top dog in the storage is known as the bullwhacker. I don't really know where to put him, so I'll just kind of stick him in a slot there. The bullwhacker. All right, next is going to be the crafting bay, which allows you to craft tools and weapons for your mech. Pay close attention to the tech levels because ultimately things can be made, and whether or not it's cheap or expensive has to do with its tech class. But the master crafter here is known as the forger. Next, the trading bay is where you can trade your intact mech chassis, systems, and modules, and even scrap with various wastelanders. Perfect your sales technique here. The trading bay is operated by an NPC known as the operator, which of course you can name if you felt so inclined. Next is going to be the med bay. This is where you are heading off after a job gone wrong. You can spend your downtime healing up here, and the higher level your Union Crawler is, the better supplies you have at your disposal, and the more you heal. And I'm sure you guessed that the highest ranking medic here is known as the Doc. Next is going to be the pilot bay. This is where you go. This is where you and your fellow pilots will get to get a few reps in and perfect your skills. And if you want to level up your pilot, you'll want to spend your downtime here. Your path to success is under the watchful guide of the Ace, a pilot who's assisting you in your training. The armory allows you to build pilot equipment, similar to how the crafting bay allows you to make mech pieces. You can turn your scrap into improvised explosives, as my grandma always says. And if you have any questions, you can definitely speak to the smith, who will be giving you a helping hand. And finally, the cantina. This is the place where most of the food and drink are actually served. In the book, this is considered a kind of the cafeteria for the entire Union Crawler. So you can go here for a quick bite or for some juicy gossip about missions nearby or Secrets of the Wasteland, really any sort of eavesdropping of gossip that the game mediator wants to add here. You're gonna find it here. The main NPC here is the chef. You better give him your compliments. Now, step 5, giving your crawler a name. I mean, we did it. Like that was a lot of information. But on the bright side, we're pretty much done here. Feel free to add as much detail to the various NPCs in your crawler because it only makes the game that much more fun. And finally, giving our crawler a name will kind of seal the deal. As always, feel free to give the crawler a name that encapsulates your party. You want everyone to feel welcome on the Union Crawler. But of course, I will be rolling on the name chart. So I'm gonna break out my dice here. Where to go? I'm gonna give it a roll. And oh, I actually picked I got what was it, 7? The Lean Viper here, which is awesome. Oh my goodness, and my sheet is all screwed up here. There we go. I'm gonna add Lean Viper to the sheet here. So I have a full intact crawler, Union Crawler character sheet, and it's looking good. Now, just like that, we have designed our pilot, our personal mech, our Union Crawler. All the character creation is behind us, meaning that the next and final episode of this short little series is going to cover the basics of gameplay. You've done it, and I'm really proud of you. Now, if you want to play Salvage Union but don't have a game mediator to facilitate the game, check out my profile on startplaying.games, where I run a couple of Salvage Union games. The link will be in the description of this video. And make sure to tune into Tethered by the Table's live streams to watch our long running campaign on Twitch. We play Dungeons and Dragons. It's hella fun. You gotta check it out. And I'll see you in the next episode, where of course we explore basic game mechanics. And I'll see you then.